Nice morning. Got up about 6. It's probably 7 now with Dave's over there filtering water. Going to go to Cordes Junction or Cordes Lakes today. Looks like it's 43 miles and 5,500 feet of climbing. It's probably going to take me an hour to pack with this bike packing stuff. You know, you really got to cram stuff in, and so I'm not the fastest packer. There's some roads here for 4x4s. You know, we got here just as it was getting dark, unfortunately. And we went up on the bridge to survey where we would camp. Unfortunately, there was a gentleman in a pickup truck around the corner there, which was probably the best spot to camp, but there's a lot of rocks here. Finding a spot for a tent isn't the easiest, or there aren't too many places to pick from. You know what I mean? We take one bike at a time, the both of us.
Oh yeah.
Ready? Came across the bridge and lost one of my panniers. Guess it didn't click in. Could be a gorgeous day today, man. So I guess that's the original Sheep's Bridge. Hoping the weather holds today. I think it's supposed to turn sour tomorrow. At least that's what the forecast says. Just crossed the bridge. And we're just taking in the view. All those cacti over there. And then I believe we go this way, down this road here, to start the route. Sheep's Bridge, and immediately we have a climb. 1 of 8 today, according to Garmin. This one is just over 3/4 of a mile and 300 feet of climbing. Not easy, but not the hardest we're gonna see today. I don't know if you can see it, but that's the bridge down there. I just started walking right after that turn, pushing the bike. And we have a 1/3 of a mile more. I'm gonna try and ride here, but we'll see what happens. Whoa. Whoa is right. So in terms of water, so I have 4 liters and I think Dave has 4.5. Well, our water choice was good this time of year because we got a late start today. We didn't really start riding until like 10 of 10. So that was really not a good start considering we were awake at 6. Second or third of the climbs of 8 today. This one's 4 miles long and about 1050 in feet. And the biggest issue is the climb, but the rocks. If it was smooth, it would be a little bit better because the rocks are just, you know, you got to navigate them and go over them, and they can stop you and slice your tire. So, because these are sharper than the baby heads we were dealing with yesterday. Walking this, whenever it gets rocky like that, I tend to push. So this smooth part just started. I'm gonna hopefully maybe be able to ride a little bit, but quite a vista. But you can see the weather maybe coming in, and I'm hoping these mountains are stopping it and we're going towards that blue sky there, because if we get caught in the rain, we got no protection. Bad line, Joe, bad line. We have a pretty good descent before this 11-mile climb, which is the bulk of the climbing for the day. And I think it's 3,800 feet. Whoa! It looks like we can cross here, up here. Just at the start of one of the climbs on the Garmin, a water crossing. just pulled over. Nice little dispersed campground. Looks like there's a trail up there or something. Our second water crossing. Like mile 13, something like that. Bloody Basin. Hasn't rained. We seem to be skirting the storm. We're so far behind. I'm gonna say it's probably 3 o'clock. We left at 10 and we've probably gone like 15 miles of the 55. We're kind of in a jam. We may be adding a day to this trip. We're never gonna make it to Cordes Lakes during daylight hours. I think we may just have to stay at the base of the hill and then go into Cordes tomorrow, because we are just so far behind. And it's getting windy now. I don't know if you can hear it. And I think Dave's waiting for me. This is probably the start of the ascent. 7 miles, 2,100 feet. And then I think it's like a 10-mile descent. We still have some climbing to do after that. We have a 500, probably about at least another 1,000 in the Climb Pro, and then whatever's left. Ooh, look at this water. Kind of buzzkill for my speed. Coming up on the highest point on today's route. It's now 6 o'clock. As a point of reference, it took us 8 hours from Sheep's Bridge to the peak of the route on day 2. Now we've got like a 10-mile descent. I mean, I would say we would camp at the bottom of this descent, but there seems to be some weather coming in and would kind of suck to be stuck out here. So the idea is we get into Cordes, we can, if it's raining, we'll just take a day. Man, this is gorgeous.
This is amazing.
Yep. Beautiful sky. Look at that rain out there. Woo! We hope that it doesn't hit us. Yeah, we're in a horse trailer. Once the rain started, the road turned to that peanut butter mud, kind of like clay that clings to the tires and drivetrains, and stopped us dead in our tracks. We tried to remove the mud, but it was pointless as it simply reaccumulated when the wheels turned. With the last of the light in the sky disappearing, the rain changed to hail as we looked for a spot to pitch our tents in a sea of rocks as the temperature dropped and the winds picked up. Luckily, this horse trailer came by and they graciously gave us a ride. After about 40 minutes getting bounced around on Bloody Basin Rd and about 5 minutes freezing on Interstate 17, they took us directly to the 50s Diner RV Park in Cordes Junction, where we had a room and a warm shower waiting for us.
With 45, 50 mile an hour gusts, that's strong. Now, across the state, here you see the winter storm warning in effect anything that's from tonight on into tomorrow night, and there will be plenty of snow to go around.
The next morning we cleaned our bikes and waited out the weather while doing laundry and figuring out how to move forward. About to wash off the gunk or crud from the bikes. They call it peanut butter mud, but it's more like clay. There's Dave's right there. And he was talking to the lady Jamie, and she says this weather is very unusual. So looks like we came the one time there's a massive winter storm coming into this area. So yeah, it's snowing and it's windy, and then it got really cold all of a sudden. So yeah, it's pretty crazy here, and we're gonna stay here tonight, I think. hoping that the weather breaks, but man, oh man, I don't know. Tomorrow doesn't look much better either, so we might take that Crown King gravel road down. It was good we were rescued because I don't think the next day would have been much better for getting out, as the road probably would still have been muddy, and the night would have been brutal with the winds and falling temperatures.